Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. And today I'm gonna be telling you guys in my opinion, top 5 best classes in the new Cold War Alpha. I've been playing all day, and I think I figured out some of the best classes, and I'm just gonna get straight into it. I'm not gonna waste your guys' time, so yeah, let's get into it. So right now, what I have the M4. I also have a sniper class. I haven't used it as much, but I think it's still really good. We got the AK, we got the Type 821 or 821, which is probably the best SMG in my opinion, or either that or the AK74U. These two are probably like the best. I personally don't like the MP5 in this game, but I might have to try it out a little more. But yeah, we're gonna start out with the M4, which is like everybody's favorite, I guess. You wanna make sure, it doesn't really matter what you run for everything, but you wanna make sure you have Gunfighter on so you get every single attachment. And for the red dot, I recommend mill stop so you get a little bit of zoom and it's still pretty accurate, and like this gun has like no recoil with all these attachments, so it's amazing. The magazine, it doesn't matter. The handle, you want to have the quick draw, because you still want to be able to sprint a little bit. I feel like you don't need that much speed. I mean, you could try the Mike Force. I might try it right now. Actually, I'm going to try it after this video. You can have I recommend the tactical stop, just so you can move around a little bit, because this is more for a long range and you want to be able to move around so you're not getting hit like crazy. For the laser, I just use steady aim so it doesn't mess around with my aiming speed. For the foregrip or underbarrel, I recommend using Marshall foregrip. You get all these cool speed stuff, and who really cares about hip fire accuracy? The only time you really need hip fire is when you're super close and like somebody just jumped in your face or something. But if they're like right in your face, you don't need the accuracy. You'll still hit 80% of your shots. The barrel, I recommend the paratrooper. It gets sort of aim moving speed, but that's why we have it stock, because it like counteracts with it. So yeah, I recommend that for the faster fire rate, like the muzzle velocity, and effective damage range, so you can kill people at longer ranges a lot faster. I'm not gonna do secondaries, but if you want, this is the best spaz class. Duckbill choke, paratrooper, SWAT, 5 milliwatt laser, I think is what it's called, sprint pad, and a 9 RD magazine. You don't really need to be ADSing with shotguns. Most of those attachments do get rid of ADS speed, but you mostly want to hip fire with shotguns, and it's still like really good. So now we're gonna go with the best sniper. So at first I did run the Pellington, but I looked at it more in depth and I realized that the LW3 is a lot better. So I recommend that, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, all of these classes besides my, sorry for the notification, all my classes besides my 821 class has Gunfighter. So yeah, I always recommend using Gunfighter unless it's something else, like the 821. You don't really need Gunfighter for that one. But for the muzzle, I recommend Stabilizer. Gets rid of a lot of sway, can help you out. I recommend Extended for the muzzle velocity. I don't know. I guess it just helps out. The paratrooper, you don't really need fire rate, because like, why are you hard scoping? Just use a just if you're gonna hard scope, you know, just use this, I guess. But you should be quick scoping. But yeah, yeah, I use the extended. For the grip, I use the Marshall foregrip again, more speed. You don't need the hipfire accuracy unless you want to make a whole no-scoping class. For the laser, since I have it, I just use this one, since I have the thing, but you might not even need the gunfighter for this, but I just have it because I have gunfighter on. And for the stock, I use aim move speed because you don't really need sprint out speed if you're going for a more medium long range with sniper. Unless you really need to, unless you're by like a wall, you're camping by a wall if you're that type of person, and you run back behind the wall, I guess. But I like the aim moving speed, so say I guess if I'm not hard scoping, but like I'm aiming for like a couple seconds waiting for the guy to peek again because he's just sitting behind a wall, I can move back or I can move around more so he doesn't have a bigger chance of hitting me. Magazine doesn't really matter. This is for all guns. It doesn't really matter what magazine you use. I just always run the max speed mag for each gun, and then you want mic force regrip for the aiming speed so you can quick scope a lot better. Now the AK class. This also has gunfighter. You want to have the mill stop reflex for the thing. For the muzzle, you want to have the muzzle brake because we're trying to reduce a lot of recoil here. So yeah. For the barrel, you want the paratrooper. Gets rid of aim moving speed, but it's okay, you know. The foregrip, you want the horizontal recoil. You want the normal foregrip because the more recoil control. The body, you can just use any body. I recommend steady because you don't want to reduce that aiming speed. The stock, I recommend tactical stock because it counteracts with this, the aiming move speed, so you can still move around a little bit. Magazine, I recommend the 40 RD for this one only, really, because it gets rid of recoil control if you use this one. So yeah, and then for the handle, I only recommend the quick draw handle because it's still ADS is pretty fast, and if you get rid of this, it reduces sprint out speed, and as you can see, that reduces a lot of speed. That can really mess you up. Now for the Type 821, this is probably, yeah, like one of the best SMGs, the first or second best. I'm still working on figuring out which one is the best. But I recommend the agency or sound suppressor. I personally run the agency because recoil, you don't really need, it doesn't really matter, and plus it counteracts with something else. You want to run the paratrooper, aim moving speed, but it's okay. This is for like running gun, so you don't really need that. Foregrip or no grip is what I recommend, but if you use the foregrip, it counteracts the horizontal recoil, which is what this deducts. So yeah. Magazine, speed mag. This also, I guess, if gets rid of horizontal recoil, but with all of those combined, it basically put it back to its normal recoil, which is perfectly fine. You can run the fast mag or the 45 RD, but it doesn't really matter. And then you want the aiming speed. It doesn't really mess with the sprint out speed that much, just because it already has good sprint out speed. So only minusing it 5% barely messes with it. And now, last but not least, AK47U, or 74U, my bad. Still gunfighter. This one don't need gunfighter for it, but you can if you want. I personally run perk greed, so I can have ghost and ninja, tracker and scavenger, flak jacket and tactical mask. But yeah, now the AK74U. The optic, I personally run the quick dot LED because it is a lot more accurate than the millstop. You don't really need the millstop because you're only really going for medium and close range. Long range, it's still good, but I still recommend medium and close. This one, or yeah, the muzzle, I recommend sound suppressor or muzzle brake, but you really don't want to be on the map that much, so I recommend sound suppressor. But it does get rid of damage range, but that counteracts when you have the paratrooper. I don't know why I had the wrong one, but you want to run paratrooper because it counteracts with it. For the underbarrel, I'm going to run foregrip, horizontal recoil control makes it more accurate, and yeah, don't really need anything else. Steady aim laser, whatever. This one, honestly, you could use either one. If you want the aim moving speed, go ahead. If you want the sprint out speed, you go ahead. I use this because it's more running gun and medium range. This, it doesn't really matter. And then I recommend the mic force rear grip, and that's why I actually run the stock. The sprint out speed and this counteracts with the sprint out speed, so you really don't lose any sprint out speed. So yeah, recommend mic, force grip, and sprint pad for the stock. But yeah, that's about it, everybody. That's, in my opinion, top 5 classes in the new Cold War Alpha. This ends Sunday afternoon, so I hope, like, you better get on it, download it, and play as much as you can, because after that, like me, I don't have the money to afford this game, so I probably won't even be able to play it after this. So I'm trying to play as much as I can until it gets boring to me, and where it makes it where I don't want to download it or buy it, you know? So yeah, I recommend getting the alpha and playing it. It's a really good game. I really like it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and peace out.